Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, I'm Allie and I try to post as many videos as possible. And so if you want to see more videos by me, just click the subscribe button. Today is going to be a story time video. It is going to be my camping trip that I took with my now ex to North Carolina. So, we'll just start at the beginning. So, me and my ex, we really liked to go on adventures and check out new places and go to abandoned places, go camping, all of that sorts of stuff. So one weekend we were like, we'll go to North Carolina and we'll camp out in one of their state parks. We didn't really plan it through, so we didn't like reserve a spot. They had like actual camping too, where you didn't have to reserve a spot. So my boyfriend was like, we'll just do that. So we drove from Florida, so like the Orlando area in Florida, to the part of North Carolina over by Tennessee. We were like, I think we went through Tennessee for like a split second when we were driving. So we were kind of like pretty far away from home, and we borrowed our friend's tent. We had a bunch of food that we were gonna cook, and then we got there and it was raining, and it was supposed to clear up, but it didn't clear up like it said it was supposed to. And so we got there and everything was wet. So we're like, okay, like we're not 100% sure how we're gonna start like a fire later on, whatever, but we'll deal. And then he's like, okay, well, we had issues finding where you could actually do camping outside of the area, like the reserved areas. So we just went to the reserved areas, and he was like, we'll just go off the beaten path and kind of go into the woods a little bit, and we'll set up a campsite there. I was like a little uneasy about it because it sounds kind of sketchy, and yeah, and I don't want to get hurt or anything like that. So we ended up going down this path and then like up a cliff sort of thing, and then we got up to this like clearing area. It was a little bit of a slant, but the tent was pretty flat, but there was still a little bit of a slant. This is important for later. So it had stopped raining and everything, and he started looking for like dry stuff to make a fire with. Well, we both did. And he started setting that up. We set up the tent, put all of our stuff inside the tent. Sorry. And everything. And so we're trying to start a fire and it's not working. We have literally started burning like shirts, like bedtime shirts that we don't wear out, paper. We tried burning tampons, like nothing would stay lit. So we're like, okay, guess we're not going to cook something to eat. We're gonna have to just eat something that, like, we'll have s'mores or something like that. We'll have some marshmallows, we'll have some graham crackers, some chocolate, we'll be okay. And so we're sitting in the tent just talking, and it's kind of getting late now, and it starts raining. We're like, awesome, like this camping trip's going pretty great right now. We were planning on exploring the next day too, like so we kind of like lay down to go to bed, and we start feeling like drops on our forehead. And sorry about that. And then it starts getting like more drops and more drops. We start feeling them in other places, and then we realize that the tent is leaking. So this was an older tent, and it had the rain cover over it and everything, and it was still leaking. So all of our stuff was getting wet. Well, the little slant in the tent, where it was pretty level, but there was like a little slant. Well, the water started pooling. Well, our stuff was all in that area, so we had to quickly move all of our stuff over, and then we sat there, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and it was like downpouring in the tent. Sorry for that bark. And then we ended up being like deciding, are we gonna stay here, just stay up through the night with all this cold rain because we're not gonna be able to sleep, or are we gonna get out and we are gonna go find our car? So, and then when we decided we were going to go out and get the car, we had to decide whether or not we were going to take the tent with us or just buy them a new one. So we called the guy that we borrowed the tent from and we're like, dude, like, your tent has a huge leak in it. It was like midnight, maybe 1 in the morning. Dude, your tent has a huge leak in it. Is it okay if we leave it here and we'll buy you a new one, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, it's my brother's tent and my dad got it for him. We were like, crap, like, we have to take it. I was like, no, I'm not, like, I was like I was a biatch. I was like, no, like, it's going to be a struggle. It's wet. We're not going to be able to take it. Like, it's a big thing and we're going to be soaking wet by the time we get it all rolled up and everything. And like, we don't want to deal with it. We can buy them a new one. This tent doesn't even do what it's supposed to do. So we ended up leaving the tent and like some of the gross food, thank God we were away from people because that would have attracted animals. And we just kind of like pushed the tent kind of a little bit. And then we decided that we were going to go start walking down. Well, we were on a cliff, like I said. So we get down and we get to like the main area. And in order to get to the campsite area where we were, we had to cross through a stream. Well, in pitch black, that's a little scary, a little bit harder, especially with currents and rocks and fish, animals, snakes, whatever is in there. So you kind of want to be more careful. So we decided we were not going to go through the stream. We decided we were going to walk down the pathway and just kind of like find our way around. So he was carrying most of the stuff and I had like a backpack, and I think we like switched one of the duffel bags back and forth between the two of us, and we were walking for like probably a half an hour, I'd say, maybe longer, trying to find our car, like having no clue where we were in regards to this like park, and it was a struggle. But we ended up asking one of like the night guards. We were like, so like, we parked here, is there any way you can kind of direct us to where we want to go? Like, how do we get back there? And he directed us to it. We ended up finding the car. It took us a little bit, but we found it. And then we were like, okay, we'll just like sleep in the car or whatever. But we just have to find a parking lot to do that. So we ended up, we were like, this like worked up an appetite. So we went to a Waffle House. And if you've ever been to a Waffle House, you know that they're kind of like ghetto for the most part. Like, there's some that aren't ghetto, but most of them are pretty ghetto. And it's not like a great place to eat, but it's like, it's decent. Well, we walk in and it's like 2 in the morning, you know? And it's like pretty late. And the ladies are like, there's like a few drunk people and this like people that actually worked there were drunk, and then this group of people sitting in one of the booths in the back. And we go in and they're barefoot and they're dancing and they're having like a good old time, and we're like, we just want to eat, you know, you guys, you can have your fun, we're just starving. And they start arguing, the girl in the back and like the people that were drunk had like beef with each other for whatever reason, and they start arguing. And so we just kind of ate our things and talked a little bit, and then we left. And we ended up sitting in like a Walmart or Lowe's parking lot and just like passing out. So thank God I had like a pillow. He borrowed some of my clothing so that like I had like an oversized t-shirt that he wore that like fit him like, you know, pretty snugly. And then so we had dry clothing because we were soaking wet by the end of it. And so we ended up sleeping, and then we went to an IHOP the next morning to get some breakfast, and we drove back and we kind of like got out and explored some things. I was exhausted. I was like, I just want to sleep. Like, I don't want to drive anymore. Like, I just want to sleep. I don't want to explore. And I was like cranky, and I kind of complained the whole trip, which I regret doing, because in the end that trip wasn't as bad as like it seems. If you're with the right people, they can make a situation pretty much entertaining, and he was definitely the right person to be on a trip like that with. But yeah, thumbs up this video if you want more story time videos. Yeah, comment with any other video suggestion ideas that you have. And coming up, I will be making like a basic packing video. There's gonna be some vlogs coming up. I have a Valentine's Day story time video that I want to do. Maybe I'll do a Valentine's Day makeup tutorial or something like that. So subscribe if you want to see those videos. And I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye.